Well, San Antonio ranks second among other Texas cities with the highest number of people experiencing homelessness. We know that because of an annual survey, which helps organizations and shelters understand what resources are needed the most. For people who aren't at a point where they want to go to resources, volunteers in the community come to them. The Night Team's Zaria Oates shares how a pastor and volunteers in San Antonio are spreading love and making sure everyone is fed and cared for.
Come on, let's cry out to the Lord.
This is called the plug-in.
Jesus is here in these houses.
We plug in into one of the darkest part of the city, and we bring light, we bring hope.
Led by Pastor Jimmy Robles,
We're all in this together.
followed by dozens of volunteers, all taking the time to cook, feed, clothe, and give haircuts to people experiencing homelessness, and offer a word of praise, regardless of religion, hoping to create community.
Just to bring hope to the individuals.
If you live in San Antonio, you can see people who make the streets their home across the city. But how many people are there? Each year, a point-in-time count, or pit count, is done in cities across the nation. Volunteers attempt to count the number of homeless people in their area, but the exact number is hard to calculate. A lot of factors come into play, like weather, time of day, and people relocating. According to the Texas Homeless Network, the pit count takes place on one night at the end of January each year. This year, it was January 23rd. On that day in San Antonio, the low temperature was below freezing, an example of the tough conditions people are having to bear.
That's somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's father.
Someone's family member doing everything they can to keep warm. Still, the 2024 pit count estimate ranked San Antonio as having the second highest homeless population in Texas, only behind Dallas by a couple hundred people. Even if the number of homeless people continues to rise,
The tears are coming down.
Pastor Jimmy hopes he and his dozens of volunteers remain able to give back to the community they know and love.
When I leave here, I leave full of joy, knowing that even if it's one person, that we made an impact on someone's life. It's a blessing.
There you go, sir. It's rough out here, and not having that encouragement to have someone to encourage you to push forward is something I think we really, really need. God shows us that we can be that beacon, that light in the darkness.
While this was the first plug-in of the year, it's far from the last.
Everybody lift up your hands. Let's pray.
Pastor Jimmy says he'll continue to host these events across the city every other Saturday evening.
It all starts with building a relationship with them. That's what we're here for.
Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.